Yo, No Maniacs, what's going on? Good afternoon. Give a couple of quick shout outs to people I see right now in the chat. Cornelia Squall is one of the real faithfuls. Where goes one? Real faithful. Jason, real faithful. Unapologetic Truth, real faithful. Daryl Gibson, King Booker World, Rex Smith, Jay Grizz, FFG style. Man, Bear Truth 9. Hey, what's going on this afternoon, fellas? And just wanted to say a shout out to my guy Ryan Billings from the bar room. Yeah, you on mute too, Ryan, by the way. He over there munching. He's coming to you live from the firehouse. That man's a fireman, and he's on the job, but he's got a lot on his mind, and hey, he's ready to get it cracking up in here and give his point of view on a whole bunch of stuff. And I got Key, newest member of the bar room, and my co-host Shawn Sierra, my other co-host Shawn Sierra from Sports Zone Chicago. Man, welcome, fellas. So let's just chop it up right quick before we get into digging into answering questions, guys. We need you. Whatever questions that you have, go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll star them and get to as many of them as we can before we get out of here. But let's just go around the horn right quick, man. Let's just talk about what's going on right now. Apparently something didn't go right in Arlington with the land ownership and I guess the city council of Arlington. I don't know the details on that, Keith. If you have anything on it and you want to share it, go right ahead.
Before he does that, I just want to say Keith is the newest member of the Nomad network.
Did I say bar room?
Yeah, kind of.
My bad.
It's because of me. I get it. You know what I'm
saying? Hey, we all, everybody's a baby from the bar room over here, man. Aldo has babies all over the place. We're just one of them.
I don't have much about it. I don't have much information about it, but because my background is real estate, I believe it's just a political move between the city of Arlington with the Chicago Bears. Because let's think about it, man. That land's been sitting dormant for a very long time, and now all of a sudden somebody spent some money on it, and now they want to try to put a premium on as far as taxes and through the school district in it. So who really owned the land, and why is it so much about the school district? But I do believe at some point in time they're going to get this matter resolved, because I know that Kevin Warren's been talking about trying to put another stadium close by the lake, but where is there enough land to not only build a large enough stadium, but take into account parking? Because right now they got a parking issue just with Soldier Fields, and people having to walk blocks and blocks just to get to the doggone stadium. So I don't know, man. This is a touchy situation. I'm really interested in seeing how things play out, but I do believe at some point in time they'll get it resolved, and that stadium will be built out in Arlington.
Hey,
yeah, part of it was there's a tax valuation. It was taxed at a lot lower rate last year. It was only supposed to, whoever owned it last year only had to pay X amount of dollars in taxes, and they gave that valuation to the Bears. And then when the Bears bought it, the tax valuation went up like crazy amount. And like, whoa, hold on, player, hold on. We were supposed to be taxed here for the amount of this amount for this land. And all of a sudden now it's jumped drastically. So that was the issue with it. Why is the tax valuation so much higher now that we purchased it, as opposed to what we have allegedly agreed on prior to the purchase? So that was the issue, and that's why he's going somewhere else.
And what's really happening is this: there's two values to land: unimproved and improved. Right when we talk about the previous owner, it was considered unimproved land because that land wasn't being used at all. Now all of a sudden, what I'm assuming is they're trying to tax them as if it's improved, yet there's no structures on the land, so it's still raw land. They should still be taxed as the unimproved value until the stadium, everything else has been built, and then you can start charging them and taxing them on improved land with the structure and everything. That's how it really should go. They're trying to supersede it. And that's not fair.
Hey, before you go, KB, I really wish I had Aldo here today. This would be a good time to ask him about what's goings on with the politics up in Arlington, because I do believe he lives there, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
It'd be a good time to ask him, the Arlington City Council and whatever that government structure is up there, it's something. I think it's a leverage game right now, and I think one side or the other is trying to leverage something politically, financially, and taxes and all that. And plus, this Arlington, man. People in the city probably still feel some kind of way about having it there in the first place. You gotta. It's all kinds of politics going on, and what I see is, it was pretty much a done deal and a closed argument that it was going to happen in Arlington. And I think what Kevin Warren is doing is raising the stakes, is getting out there and negotiating with the mayor Johnson and trying to see how he can make Arlington feel about, okay, if we don't go there, I'm gonna let you see what you're gonna miss. And so to me, it's a political game of chess, and that's just me from the outside knowing absolutely jack.
No, I just pulled up the article. I'll tell you, it's from NBC5. This is from February 14th, so this was yesterday. All right, the Arlington Heights, or the Cook County Board of Review informed the team Wednesday of its decision to leave the property value at $192 million, which would roughly quintuple. For those of you that's 4 times. 5 times. Excuse me, quad. Their tax bill. All right. It said, meanwhile, the Cook County assessor increased the value of the property from $33 million to $197 million. Property taxes in Cook County lagged by a year, leaving former owner Churchill Downs on the hook for the first bill at the higher value. But that's literally the issue. So they went from $33 million, valued at $33 million to $197 million, and that's the issue. So I don't know about you, but if something quintuples, you could try to be 5 times more than originally agreed. Hold on, player.
Right. Yeah, I got some questions to ask now,
absolutely.
brother. What you doing?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what, man? I don't want to. To me, it's a boring topic. If y'all want to keep discussing it, you can, man.
It's
that's just the news of the day, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say that gets chalked up in the cost of the business ain't the same as what it was yesterday. That's all it was.
Show right about that, man. But let's get into. Let me just lead this conversation off with a statement that I just put on Twitter. Some of you that follow me at Nomad Networking probably saw this quote. This is me. The quote, draft Caleb argument falls apart quickly in the face of substance. Kevin Warren more or less informed us that the opportunity to build a stout, talent-laden roster is too much to pass over. Shouting to the ether about one player if you want, but it's kind of senseless. And so I just want to start the conversation off with this, guys. I mean, if you just pull back for a minute, you want virtue to be answered and think about the opportunity these businessmen are faced with. There's a team builder inside that building in the name of GM that has this great opportunity in front of them, and versus the opportunity to get one player, no matter how good you think it is. I mean, what would you do? And we'll start with Keith. When you see in one opportunity is clearly much greater than the other.
Well, how I look at it, man, considering the fact that, let's say they did decide to go and use that number 1 pick. Technically, we have 5 picks for the entire draft with no second round at all. So fiscally, does it make sense to use that 1 pick on one player with the hopes that that one player is the one to take you over the top? Now you limit yourself to 4 remaining picks. Now, yes, Poles has shown that he has the magic wand in being able to increase picks, but who's going to really be willing to help you improve your roster when they're trying to improve theirs at this point, especially then when you've shown that you're moving in a trajectory of up? So me personally, I don't think it may fiscally it's fiscally responsible to even do it as well. I would rather trade back and take the haul and just continue to build my team with the additional picks. That's my take.
Go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, it does make sense, and people will pose the argument. And here's the issue, and I snapped on some dude earlier because we can agree to disagree. You know what I mean? Like, you could be pro Caleb, doesn't mean you have to be anti Justin, and I can be pro Justin, doesn't mean I have to be anti Caleb. And unfortunately, that faction of the fan base has divided us, has segregated us to the point where if you disagree with their point of view, you're a clown, you're an idiot, you're a moron, you're this, you're that, and they attack you. It's like, bro, like, truth be told, they don't care about us. All right, just be honest. Like, so for you to come at me like that is crazy. But I digress. All right, it makes sense. And people say, once you get the quarterback right, okay, let me show. Example, and I mentioned it yesterday. The Dallas Cowboys of the '90s. Would anyone call Troy Aikman a generational talent? Would anyone call Troy Aikman a game changer? No, you wouldn't. Okay, because he's not. All right, he had a stud running back, stud wide receivers, stud tight end, stud offensive line, which was built. I don't think there was anything lower than a second round pick in that. I think there's only 2 second round picks in that offensive line. The other 3 were first rounders. Okay, that defensive line. All right, so it makes a lot more sense than Poles. And this is the thing that bugged me. Poles has been very adamant about adhering to his way, building through the draft. He said that. He said it more than one time. He said it ad nauseum, building through the draft. How much better can you build a team than trade this first round pick, the number 1 overall pick again, getting possibly 3 number 1s, possibly 2 number 2s, okay, maybe a player, okay, say maybe take a first round pick off to get a starter, okay, and now you got 2 first round picks in 24, 2 first round picks in 25, 2 first round picks in 26, not to mention the number of second picks. And Yada's talking about, Hall of Famer Troy Aikman. Yeah, Troy Aikman wasn't the reason they won. Troy Aikman was not transcendent. Troy Aikman wasn't legendary. He wasn't generational. He had phenomenal players. Look how many Hall of Famers he played with. Look at how many Hall of Famers on the offensive line and the defensive line he had to play with. Look at his running back. Look at his wide receiver. Come on, man. Yes, he's a Hall of Famer, and I'm not taking anything away from him. Okay, but I digress. I'm not going to deal with that. But to make my point, you can get so you want to bank everything on one guy who may or may not be it, and he could be generational. He could be, but he also cannot be. And if you miss on him, you're batting zero. You're batting zero. And if you get 7 picks, 6 picks, and you hit on 3 of them, all right, 3 out of 6. Now you're batting 500. And now you had 3 more people who can plug holes and make this team better, include depth. And again, I am not anti-Caleb. All right, I want him to do well. I really do. I just feel, from what I've seen from Justin, that Justin is the best option to lead this team. And people talk about his shortcomings. Okay, well, guess what? If you weren't coached properly, you'd have shortcomings too.
Go ahead and dig in, Ryan.
Hey, man. Look, it's going to be a whole lot of piggybacking going on. Because at the end of the day, man, I've said this and I'm still continue to preach it. To me, it ain't even about Justin. It ain't about Caleb. I'm Team Bears. I want the Bears to be a successful team. I can care less who's behind the quarterback. Right now, to me, just looking at it, your best avenue would be trying to trade back and get as much as you can for it so you can build this team. We ain't a quarterback away. The quarterback was far from the only issue that we had last year. You have wide receivers who were dropping over 20% of their passes. You had an offensive coordinator that couldn't pull his head out of his you know what until probably about halfway through the season, and then we have something that we could point at with the injuries, but your quarterback goes down for basically 4.5 games that we didn't have him. We talk about numbers. I said it before, bro. I said give Justin the floor and say that he threw for 850 yards like our backup quarterback did. The boy's name is escaping me.
Tyson Bagent.
Yes, like Bagent. You looking at the numbers, he's passing for close to 3,500 yards. You're rushing for close to 800. Last I checked, Lamar Jackson put up very similar numbers and won the MVP. That's not even saying that Justin might have went off in 1 or 2 of those games. So we point so much to say, oh, this quarterback is the quarterback, and this is where we do this endless waltz here. Caleb comes in, he has bad games, and then he starts to shrink. Then what do we do? Are we gonna point the finger at him and say it's his problem? And then is it gonna be, we gotta wait till 2 or 3 years later to try to grab another quarterback? No, man, you have to build a team. put a team around whoever your quarterback is. Right now, that's Fields. Fields has a lot of upside, and everybody in the league seems to know it. You can ask the players, a lot of these coaches, and it's another thing that I brought up before too, bro. Anytime the Bears get anybody that has any kind of talent, everybody wants them. They gotta go. They could be anywhere but Chicago. We saw it with Roquan. We saw it with Khalil. We started to see it with Jalen Johnson. You know, every time we get somebody who is halfway decent, it's well, if only they can get out of Chicago. And we're hearing that now with Justin. But like I said, I'm Team Bears. I want to build my team. I want a team that looks complete like the 49ers do, where you got dudes who can ball at every level of at every point on the field. And right now we don't got that, but you know, we're gonna take our chances on the generational prospect who isn't even generational.
Hey Brian, before anybody else, I'm gonna just give him a double crack at it because Ryan, ain't no telling when he might get the call. He might gotta leave.
Facts.
You know what I mean? And it's his first time coming in, so I'm gonna give you another crack at it, but a different way of looking at it. This is talking about the draft and the opportunity to move down the two. Because to me, KB, I think the play is you got to move that and get to 2 as quick as possible, so that you can start working on developing the plan on what you want to do at 2. Do you want to do that again, and where do you want to go? So to me, I think Kevin Warren, the timing that he said the things that he said, in my mind, you know, y'all can tell me if I'm crazy, you think I'm crazy or not, but I think there may be negotiations going on right now, and I think the deal may come out sooner rather than later, so they can focus on getting that second one done and get concentrated on what they need to do in the draft. That's what I think is going on. Does that sound like anything that makes sense to you, Ryan?
Oh, it absolutely does. I didn't realize how fast the combine was coming up. You know, a lot of conversations is gonna happen at the combine. That's how it happened last year for us. It was we had the combine, and like a couple of weeks later, we end up trading the pick. Yep. So you know, a lot of this moving, this willing and dealing is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I'll say probably in the next month to really figure out what's going on. I don't know if anybody watches The Pivot. All right. They had Antonio Pierce on just recently.
Oh, yeah. I should have got that damn clip.
Yep. That's a good point. Right. Now, Antonio Pierce, you know, not for long league, you know what I'm saying? You went to sleep thinking you had a deal done, and that pen wasn't put to paper yet. And guess who came in and swooped up Cliff Kingsbury? You know what I'm saying?
Magic Johnson.
And you hear them. Antonio Pierce said it out his mouth. Y'all can take it for whatever it's worth, but that man was speaking some fucking truth. Some truth. He was speaking some truth, man.
Beep.
He flat out told him, man, he said, look, if Magic is in the picture, bro, you not winning. Magic was in the picture. He's still dishing them. Like they said, he's still dishing the passes, man. And he lost to Magic. So if people really think that Magic Johnson don't have any kind of input, if you don't think that man is looking for the slam dunk alley-oop of the century, oh yeah, bro, I believe without a doubt, 100%, they will be having conversations with Chicago. Hey man, so how much do y'all really love Justin? Because we're looking to move up. If we move up, we know we're taking Caleb. He's from DC. He's the highly touted prospect. You can't miss on.
KP, that story has already written itself. It's too
exactly. Easy. It's too easy. You know what I'm saying? It's the movie script. You feel me?
Yep.
That's all it is. And to me, it makes the most sense. Let them bid against themselves. Let them. I heard people say, man, maybe you can get both them twos and still get the first next year and the year after that. You know what I'm saying? Let them bid against themselves, man. If they were willing to throw you a haul, and this another thing I want to make a point on, bro. If something is not for sale, guess what? It will not have a price tag.
Value. Oh.
Do not tell me, hey, they're not trading this pick. They're going to stay at 1 because that historic is what they're looking for. Historic. Yeah, I float that out in the ether. Yes, I'm looking for a historic trade. But guess what? That means that it's for sale.
Absolutely.
That's all that means to me.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, bro, I'm all with you. To me, you trade from 1 to 2, you get as much as you possibly can for it, and then you start to explore whether or not you're gonna trade from 2 to wherever. I've said it before. I'm a Marvin Harrison Jr. fan, but I'm not married to him. I have to stick with what I've said before. I'm pro Bears. If I can trade back to 5 because the Giants want to come up and get a quarterback, the boy from UNC or Jaden Daniels, wherever the pick may be, what do you got? What are you willing to offer me to come up to get the quarterback that you're really going after? You know what I'm saying? And I would be okay with taking a Doomsday at 5. I would be okay with taking Malik
Hell
Willis
yeah.
at 5.
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
I'm like I said, I'm pro Bears. You do what you got to do to build this team, man. That's how I feel.
You know, I said it plenty of times. Like, oh, and I think, and I know Nomad thinks similarly. Similarly, say that 5 times real fast. All right, that the only true generational player in this draft is Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, I would come off of Marvin Harrison Jr. and just because you come off of him and you get a Odunze or you get a damn it, who's the other kid?
Neighbors.
Neighbors. All right, so you get a Neighbors. Who's to say that they won't be great? Who's to say? So I'm coming off a generational player to get a great player. Okay, I'll take it. And if he doesn't get a yellow jacket, like I believe Marvin Harrison, when it's all said and done, could warrant a gold jacket. All right, but that doesn't mean that no one else can be good. That doesn't mean no one else is going to be great. That doesn't mean no one else is not going to make all pro. All right, give me options. Give me numbers. And when you're building a team, you need numbers. And it's and I love Marvin Harrison too, Ryan. But like you said, I would definitely come off of him if we get more draft picks because Ryan Poles has hit on almost all of his draft picks. The only ones he hasn't hit on, okay, the high ones, I should say, at first, second, and third, and that's Valus. And that could change with the way Waldron uses them. If Waldron uses them well,
Exactly.
all of a sudden now all of Ryan Poles' first three round draft picks have been great. So give me a guy give me that dude. Give me more. Give me more people because he's shown that. And I talked about the 2 firsts in 24, 25. Come on, man. 2 first round picks for 3 straight years in a row.
That sounds like some stuff off of Madden, don't it? You
on,
trade
man.
away all your players and you just constantly getting first round picks. It's funny because it's like, bro, that's the literal reality that we could be looking at right now.
Ryan, I said we might get from that 1 pick last year, we might get 9 to 11 players, all. That's one side of a ball, man. That's literally one side of you know what I'm saying? That would easily eclipse the Herschel Walker trade back in the day. You get 11 guys from wheeling and dealing and trading back and trading for 1 pick. Come on, man. How can you beat that, bro?
And this is the thing. This is the thing that everybody is mistaken when they sit up and say historical haul. They're thinking that they're just looking to fleece, and I hate to use that word, but looking to get the most from the trade back to 2. But I think the real historical haul would be you trade back to 2, you get what you can out of that trade back, and then you take that second pick, you take that number 2 pick, trade back again. That's where your haul is going to come from because now you're going down from 2 to either 6 or 8. You know, I wouldn't go no further than that just to assure that I can get one of those top 3 wide receivers that everybody is considering top 3 wide receivers. And then from there, you can take your 9th pick and either draft there or take that 9th pick, trade that pick back, say to 13, because I think Denver's going to want to come up into the top 10 to go get their quarterback because I do believe they're going to move off from Russell Wilson. So there's a lot of chess to be played, not checkers, but chess to be played with just the first pick that's going to accumulate as many draft picks as possible. You can end up with what? A total of just between the first and second round, almost 6 to 8 picks.
Over how many years?
100.
When you
over the next 2 years.
Hey, Keith, when you say that out loud, and we're going to get to some questions here in just a minute. When you say that out loud, and you think about the people that's screaming into the ether that we got to have Caleb no matter what, regardless of what somebody's offering, I don't know how, as a person, I don't know how realistic you really are as a person with yourself. I mean, you can't. How you look in the mirror and tell yourself that and think that's a logical response to what was just said. When you say that out loud, Keith, it's just ridiculous.
And this is the thing, Nomad. You hear this saying, the math ain't mathing. If you use that first pick to go and get this savior with that one pick. Trust me, the math ain't mathing because now you got to figure out how you're going to turn 4 picks into say 8 picks, 6 picks, 8 picks. It is just not. It doesn't make sense, man. And I get it. Everybody has fallen in love with a guy that can scramble around, throw across his body, and all of that. And again, like I said yesterday, and I'm going to stay on this, I'm not taking anything away from Mr. Williams. Not at all. I just believe that we have a guy right here in our house that we can build around and
Bingo.
take that one pick, man,
Bingo.
and in one season, in one off season, and draft this year alone, can put yourself in the playoffs, at least in the divisional round, and then what you've accumulated, and you go into the draft next year with what you've accumulated from your trade backs, and now you're competing to be in the NFC Championship, if not possibly the Super Bowl.
And then the year after that, you still got 2 first-round picks, even if we do make it to the NFC Championship. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, it doesn't make sense that people are talking about, well, one generational quarterback, and you're saying, well, Justin ain't that good. Well, then why are people Why are so many people lying in the weeds? Like, yeah, trade him. We want him. Come on, man. People aren't going to go trade for quarterbacks that are bad. Mike Tom, look at what's Pittsburgh's history with quarterbacks. All right, they have a solid history with quarterbacks until the last couple of years. They thought Kenny Pickett was it. All right, they're not. These are the rumors. It's not a. I don't know why it's so difficult for people. All right, because quarterback is here, and I made the argument to the dude yesterday. I'm like, wait, so generational. I'm like, why hasn't he beaten all these top teams or at least once? Give me one of those top teams. And they're like, well, and then they're like, oh, and the guy's like, you're better than that. I'm like, no, wait. I said, I'm old enough, and the dude, I said, you're old enough too. There was a dude named Michael Vick who beat teams by himself in college. There was a dude named Barry Sanders who beat teams by himself in college. So those are generational players. So if your guy's a generational player, you mean you can't beat one ranked team by yourself? Come on. I'm not saying all of them. I'm not saying USC. I mean, I'm not saying UCLA, Oregon, Washington. I'm not saying all of them, but give me one. Give me one. Come on, man. Generational players can do that in college.
Hold on, KB, because you guys know this. We got to have KB back, man, because this hour ain't going to be enough, man. And this is the hottest conversation in the NFL, not just in Chicago, but all over the damn place. It's the hottest conversation to be had. But we got to do a quick station identification. And then we got to answer some questions right quick.
The best Chicago Bears content anywhere. Catch Nomad live pregame 1 hour prior to kickoff, and Nomad at night postgame, and every Friday evening at 7 p.m. Central on all the most popular streaming platforms, and only on the Nomad Network.
Thank you for that, super producer Chris. And let's say this. Let's just do it this way, fellas. If the question isn't directed at me, then I'll let whatever first question comes up. You can start with Keith. You want to grab that, and you can answer it, and then we'll go around. And anybody else that has a comment about it, we'll just go around and do it that way. So if it doesn't have my name on it, I'm just gonna let you guys take over, and I'll answer that at the end. So give us a first one if you don't mind, fellas. Whatever the first question is. All right. That's anybody. So go ahead, Keith.
Okay, the question is, bear down. Did anyone see the Chicago clip of Mark Carman and Kevin should let Ryan Poles do his job? Correct me, but isn't he his boss?
Okay.
I'm trying to kind of decipher that.
I think you're referring to Kevin Warren.
Yeah, you got Black Rain. It's just a couple of grammar things. Like, did anyone see the clip of CHGO clip of Mark Carman? Period. And it's just a parentheses. Kevin should let Ryan Poles do his job. All right, correct me, but isn't he the boss? That's what he's
saying.
So he's upset. So he's upset that Kevin Warren stepped in and had something to say about it.
Right.
Because his narrative has been, Poles needs to draft Caleb Williams, and that upset his
yeah, let me dive into this, man. Let me dive into this. All right.
You can take the question down.
So here we go. That's the biggest problem. Is I think there's a problem with the aesthetics of Hallis Hall. You can read between the lines how you want to. But if you listen to what, and this is the thing, man, these guys have been very prudent with regards to how they use their words. If you just follow them from the post season presser all the way up to the interview with Jared Payton, there's certain words that's been used. Continuity is one. Okay. The other one is, if you listen to what Kevin Warren said, they intentionally put their offices next to one another so that they can communicate on a daily basis and make sure that they're on the same page.
Yep.
Kevin Warren is going to allow Ryan Poles to do his job. However, collectively, including Flus and everybody else that's in the decision-making part of the team, are going to have it's like a war room. They get in there, they toss things around, they're going to hash it out. They may not agree on everything, but at the very end, they're going to come up with a decision collectively on what direction to go in. So yeah, Kevin's going to let him do his job, but at the same time, Kevin's going to also be part of the process. No more Ted Phillips where just sit back in the cut and let things go haywire, and then at the very end you want to throw in your opinion on who the quarterback could be, because from my understanding from some people that I know, Mazda Mitch was a Ted Phillips pick.
That's funny. That's really funny. That's really funny.
And then no Maserati is Mazda, huh?
I was gonna say Mazda still might be high praise, but
maybe Mitsubishi.
Ryan, we're trying to be complimentary. We're trying to be complimentary on the show.
Lord, man.
But I think people got to really take the time to listen to what these guys have been saying. They've been very prudent with regards to their approach and the words they've been using, and that the primary word has been continuity. And how do you get continuity? By keeping what you have and building around it. You cannot have because let's be honest, who are they doing more of a disservice to? Would they be doing more of a disservice to Flus by bringing in a rookie quarterback, or do you say we're gonna keep our coach as well as the quarterback that he has a relationship with and build around it? Because me personally, again, and I'm just reading the tea leaves, the Bears was the first team to pick an offensive coordinator. Kingsbury, they interviewed him, didn't they?
Yep.
They had the chance to bring him here, right?
Yep.
They didn't, did they?
All right. So, hey, guys, let's just keep in mind now. We're gonna try to get to as many.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We just
I can get long-winded.
It's all good. First time we ever did it. Let's just be quick about it.
And just what people realize, like the way that they're doing this now, you're marrying quarterbacks to coordinators. All right, so for them not to bring in hire Cliff Kingsbury says a lot. But someone also said, Ryan Poles has the final say. He does have the final say. Okay, but it doesn't mean he's not going to collaborate with other people in the building, especially if they're football people, which we all know Kevin Warren is as a former agent, as a former president of the Big Ten. He's a football guy, and Kevin Warren said it. He said, "We're going to decide." All right. Yes, he'll make the final decision, but we're going to decide. It's going to be a collective because now we got some football minds. Me, you, Ian Cunningham. Man, how great was it that that someone didn't poach him? I'm so happy with that.
I'm happy about that.
3 football guys in there who can sit down and talk, and then Ryan will be the face and make the thing. Come on, man. It's and here's the last thing. What's going to happen when all these people, when Justin stays? All right, and what are they going to do? You said it, Nomad. They're going to start going at Poles. They're going to say, "Oh well, Poles made the biggest mistake. He's the worst GM in the history." They're going to call for his head immediately.
Exactly.
They don't get their way like little petulant little brats.
Go ahead, KB.
Oh man, like I said, my biggest thing is this: Ted Phillips won the football guy. Wasn't Ted Phillips a number guy?
Yep.
No, said
he wasn't that good with that either.
I was gonna say he wasn't that good with it. My man flat out came out and said, "Look, we got our offices next to each other for a reason." I look at him like how you would look at family, and I'm pretty sure that's how he looks at me. That's all I need to hear. You got 2 football guys talking to each other. I don't need nothing else. I don't care whose choice it is at the end of the day. I trust in Kevin Warren. I trust Poles. If both of them are the two guys I got talking to each other at the end of the day about what direction we should take our football team, I feel like whatever decision they decide to come up with, it's good enough for me.
And I'll close it with this, man. And what's funny about it, because I know 110% that if Kevin Warren came out and said something completely opposite of what he did, guess we'd be hitching their wagon to all that. The same people complaining about it.
Exactly.
So it's just straight up just hypocritical, man. It's not your virtue, and so I got a problem with it. I'm gonna come down on it. People calling him the next Ted Phillips, man, that's really stupid, man. I think you're immature when you do stuff like that, man, because that just shows you where your mind is at, man. But let's get to the next question, whatever it is. Okay, here's Cornelius Squalls. Anybody, you could take that one, Shawn.
If Caleb is drafted, who will he sit behind? Because most run and shoot quarterbacks like Mahomes have to learn the pro game. Yeah, well, that's a good question. I don't know if you'd probably have. Would you throw him to the Wolves? And if you throw him to the Wolves, then you're doing exactly the same thing you did to Justin, doing exactly the same thing you did to Trubisky. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that this front office did. We're saying the Bears in general. So you're going to have to sit behind somebody. All right, and I know you got to play, but you got to learn too. So that's a good question. Who you're probably going to have to go find that you know what, that makes it seem like it's really not going to happen, because you got to go get someone to run this offense so he can watch. So now you got to hire another, and you get three quarterbacks. You got the emergency quarterback, so Tyson can be the emergency quarterback. But man, now you got to go hire someone else. Or, go sign someone else. That just doesn't make sense, because to throw him out there like that. And I granted, he's going to have a much better team than Justin had when he stepped out there. Don't get me wrong, which is why we want more. But that's a great question. It means we got to go draft somebody for a year or two.
Anybody else want to touch that? Because we can get to the next question if not.
I'm just going to say this.
Go ahead.
I was going to say this. I'll make mine quick. Let's be real. He's not sitting behind anybody. That's going to be mistake number one. He's not sitting behind anybody. If he came to Chicago, he'd be starting right away. That's what the fans would want. That's what everybody in the media and everybody, period, will be looking for. Would be Caleb Williams to be starting.
Mm-hmm. Or the conspiracy theory would be, since Seattle now has a new OC and head coach, would they possibly just decide to move off from Geno, and then all of a sudden Geno becomes available and they bring Geno in to run Waldron's system?
All right. So let's get to the next question, man. We're gonna try to keep it moving, get to as many as we can. Okay, this. We want to take that one, KB. It doesn't have my name on it.
All right, what does Waldron do with Justin in the running game? Because offensive line and weapons will be the focus in this offseason. You use Justin when you want to catch somebody off guard. I feel like if you're a true OC, your plan would be scheming people open, giving him open windows to throw to, and making his job easy. Now, when I say using him to get people off guard, red zone. You get you a decent running back in the backfield, and you have to worry about an RPO or a read option, and you follow whoever the running back might be, and then Justin Fields is skirting around the corner running to the end zone. That's when I would love to see it. I think that's how he should be used. I don't feel like he should be the driving force of a rushing offense like he's been with Getsy. And that's one of the issues that I have when people say the Bears had this big rushing offense. It was never the running backs. It was always about Fields and what he can do with his legs. Mm-hmm. So we have to start to take that off his plate. And you use him when you need to use him. Like I said, red zone's perfect example of it. So,
you know what, man? I'll double what he said and kind of add a little something to it. And before we get to the next question, and I think the design of this offense, I know the design of this offense is going to organically promote a run from Justin several times a game, because he's going to be reading naked boots and deciding whether he wants to hit the first layer, second layer, third layer. And if he doesn't see anything there, they're going to come organically. So it's not like you don't have to be like Getsy and call run plays. It's going to happen, exactly, whether or not you call it or not. And so therefore, there's really no need to design that. Now, there are some times where you may want to especially use his run capabilities to threaten the defense, to get them to do what you want them to do. That's natural. but I don't think you need to design all those run plays like Getsy did. 100%.
Nope.
You want to keep him healthy. But let's get to the next question. Another question. You want to take that one again, Keith?
Yeah. How far should the Bears trade back with their 9th pick? I think no lower than 15. And I really think that 9th pick is going to become valuable. And I really believe Denver's going to be that team that jumps into the play on that, because they're going to be needing a quarterback. And I think who's going to possibly creep into that first round top 10 pick, and I wouldn't draft him at that number, but again, I think he fits Sean Payton's offense, is JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to touch that?
I'll probably put myself around that same range. It's the NFL draft, man. We know weird stuff happens every year. Somebody that's not supposed to be there, be there. Whether you get high on Jaden Daniels, whether you get high on Drake May, somebody could very possibly be there at 9, and you'll have a team like never calling. The Raiders possibly calling, look for somebody. So, like I said, I probably wouldn't trade past the 15th unless it was for something ridiculous. But I would probably cap it like around 15.
Yeah, that's my ultimate cap, 15. I would say that's the ultimate. I mean, the last resort, because I would say 13, 12 to 13. 13 would be my first hard stop, but like my for real hard stop would be 15. But 13, I think, would be good.
All right, let's get to the next question, man. You want to grab that one, Shawn?
Why do you think the people are blind and Nagy and Getsy being bad OCing and put the total blames on Fields? Why? Because the players are the ones who are actually playing, so they make the mistakes. But you don't understand, if you're given bad information and you're not coached properly, this is what you go out there and do. There's an old saying, and all of us who played football understand it. What's happening on the field is either coached or allowed. Okay, and if it's not being, and if this is continually happening, then it's being allowed. A good coach will say, "Hey, this has to stop," and he'll work with the quarterback or whatever position it is. He'll work with that player to get him to stop, to get that habit, to break that habit and reform another one. Bad coaching is horrible, all right? And you don't understand it. So, but people are quick to say what a great dude Mike Shanahan is, or Andy Reid is, and Bill Belichick and all this other stuff. But they're willing to talk about great coaches and how it helps players. But then you won't look at bad coaches and say how it hurts players. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it just only one side and positive. It is. What does my shirt say? All right, it's people don't get it. People don't get it. Like, well, it's his 3rd year. Like, if someone taught you to tie your shoe the wrong way for 5 years, guess what? You're going to tie your shoe the wrong way. Because it's happening. This is what you're supposed to do. And then I'm going to cut it short because I know we got time. It's coaching matters. Period. End of story.
All right. Anybody else want to touch that?
No, I'll say this. If coaching didn't matter, the Saints wouldn't win. What? How many losses to how many wins that year Sean Payton took off? He came back. They were right back in the playoffs. Do the math.
Shawn, you need to create a shirt that says that.
Says what?
Coaching matters.
Oh, you mean this one? Don't worry. You'll be able to pick it up at sportzonechicago.com very soon. Don't worry about it.
I need a 4X. You got a 4X?
Man, I'll bet whatever size you want, big dog. They go up to 8X, bro.
There you go.
All right, let's pull up the next question. This KB, go ahead.
All right.
Or did I skip
the hall?
Could you see? Or should Shawn just do that?
He just did the one. If they take the hall, could you see a possible 1 or 2 year extension? Let's see, man. You know what? I'm kind of on the train of I don't know where I stand right now on the 5th year option. You could take it. Like I said, it's a simple 2-year thing. I don't feel like the Bears really be hurting. But I feel like if you add talent around them, you're going to end up extending them anyway. So I would be okay with a 1 or 2 year. Didn't the Packers extend Love just off GP because they didn't really get a good look at him?
I don't know.
I could have sworn that was a conversation that people were having. I don't know how true it was or not, but you could see something kind of worked out to say, hey, you know what? Here we go. We'll give you this extra year just to see what you can do. And if you do what we expect you to do, then we'll end up paying you. So do I believe a 1 to 2 year extension is possible? Yeah, absolutely do. Especially if he's excelling in the next year.
All right. Anybody else want to touch that?
Yeah, I think you just sign him. You sign him to his 5th-year deal, and here's why. All right, now all the numbers are out. All right, everything's on the table. All right, so you know exactly how much he's going to cost. You know so anyone wants to trade for him, you know exactly if you don't think Justin's doing it is the dude, and you want to move off him, then you know. And whoever wants to trade for him, they understand that he's going to cost $24 million in his 5th year. All right, so you put everything on the table. All right, because if you don't sign or don't pick up his 5th year option and you move on from him after 4th year, well, first of all, you don't have control over him his 5th year then if you don't sign him. All right, so you can't move him. All right. But secondly, now another team's going to say, man, I don't know if I want to sign him because of this, or whatever reason. He might want more because he made his 5th year option. Put all the numbers on the table, make it nice and easy for everybody to know exactly what he's going to cost, because it's literally going to be $30 million over the next 2 years. All right, in his 5th year will be about 24. But yeah, put it on the table, and at that point, like if Justin isn't the dude, man, you know what? We got 2 first-round picks in 24, 25, and 26. When the next generational guy comes out, we can go trade those 2 if we feel that he's the dude. So yeah, put it all on the table, man. Put it all on the table.
I just wanted to say this real quick because we had Buddy talking about if he's so good, then why wouldn't we sign him? Because it's a numbers game, dude. Y'all, what y'all not hearing is we're not sitting here standing for a player. We're sitting here standing for our team. We're building a team. If Justin Fields is going to be that guy, he's going to make it evident this year when he has the adequate pieces around him. If we sitting there just preaching up Justin and standing for him, please go watch some of these clips of these people talking about him. Most notably, the person who called it with Cam Newton saying players were game managers and not special, sat there and said, you need to get that boy some help and he'll be special. But we standing for people.
Jordan Love signed a 1 year, $22.5 million extension. That's preceding his 5th year option. And it also voided 25, 26, 27. So after 2024, he can be a free agent.
You see, there you go. I can see something very similar being done with Fields.
All right,
doesn't hurt.
Let's dive on into the next question. Okay, Nomad, how are you doing, young man? Can you please give me the definition of franchise quarterback? Of course, I don't have a Webster's in front of me. That would be someone that the GM obviously thinks and the coach obviously thinks has a really high upside if given opportunity and the infrastructure built around him to lead the team to wins. And that's the definition. Can he manage? Does he make the right calls at the right times? Does he instill confidence in the players around him? How much do they believe in him? And does he make plays when the times are right? You know, all those things point to Justin Fields to me. You know, given the opportunity and the right infrastructure around him, we've seen a bunch of flashes of that, you know, since he's been here. You know, with the mix match offensive line and receivers being hit or miss, you know, whatever the running back situation was at any given time, holy defense. You know, it's just now starting to become a team that, you know, you can really hang your hat on, minus a few pieces here and there. And so right now, I think franchise quarterback, I think inside that building, I think Ryan Poles said as much in his exit press conference. He thinks that Justin Fields can lead this team. And that spells to me that he thinks, regardless of what I think, he thinks he has a franchise quarterback. And so if that answers your question, man, that's the best I could tell you. But anybody else can jump on that if they want.
Leader of men. Somebody that the team turns to look to when things go bad. Can you sail the ship through fire? At this point, I feel like that part's been figured out for us. We've seen somebody navigating his way through fire for 3 years. And he still hasn't folded. So I feel like we got the guy.
Well, we do have the guy. You know, when you need for me, it's a franchise quarterback is a guy who's going to take you, who's going to bring you back to relevance first and foremost, and then the perennial playoff appearances. All right, and then possibly an NFC Championship. Because I'm not going to say Super Bowls because how many quarterbacks are in Super Bowls? Not a lot.
Not
All
a
right,
lot.
but
Yeah.
you know we if Justin and I'm telling you, I think after this draft, you're going to have and this new offensive staff, you're going to see the franchise quarterback is that dude who can take us perennially. Like remember Drew Brees, like they were always contenders. You didn't know if they're going to win the Super Bowl or not, but she's like, man, you always got to watch out for New Orleans. You always got to
Yep.
watch out New Orleans. Then boom, that one year they did it. Okay, I think that would be the probably the bench the definition I would give. If Justin will lead us constantly into the playoffs, and you don't know what happens in the playoff. One team their stars hurt, or this guy's hurt, or their left tackle's hurt, which weakens them, and now we can get past them. It's all a number. I mean, it's year by year. A guy who could take us to the playoffs consistently, all right, and make us serious contenders for a Super Bowl title. And I think with a couple more pieces, that's who Justin is.
I think, and just really quickly before we get to the next question, I think the flashes become the norm once the infrastructure is in place. Everything that you've seen and you liked about Justin's big plays and his ability to hit strikes, in tight game situations, what I mean, that will become the norm once the infrastructure is in place. I predict that to you right now.
Once he gets coached, once he gets coached to do, proper, do everything, man, no matter what, guys, everything starts with footwork. Everything, every little thing. Sir. When you get coached properly, that's the issue. We haven't had guys who I mean, I'll tell you what, he had better footwork under Nagy than he did in the last two seasons.
Did. Yeah.
And you know what, Shawn? And regardless of what, my answer is my answer. You guys' answers are yours. Regardless of what we think, guess what? The people inside that building, meaning the players in the locker room, the coaches, and the people upstairs in upper management seem to think he's the guy. So regardless of what anybody thinks about him, I'm telling you what they think. And so, take that and do what you will with it. But let's get to the next question. Another one for me at Nomad. What do you Waldron will do with Justin in the running game? I think we answered that already for the most part. Let's get to the next one. At Nomad. Another one for me. What do you think about the compensation the Cards could offer that I listed in the chat? We get a 4, a 27, a 35, a 66, and a 2025 number one. You know what? That you can take that comment down. That trade consistently comes up whenever we do mock drafts, no matter who's doing them, no matter when. That trade consistently comes up, and it looks similar to that. I think it's going to be a hell of a, if it comes to us that way, it's going to be, first of all, you got to be wondering why they would offer that much for a player. You got to be Marvin Harrison, because I'm pretty sure that they feel like they got their guy in Kyler Murray. But if they offered that, I think, hell yeah, you got to take strong consideration to it, even if your goal was to move to a certain spot. If they're going to offer that much compensation for a pick, as a businessman, I mean, that doesn't make anything but good business. Yeah, that's what I think about that. But anybody can touch it if they want.
Well, real quick, didn't they have a guy in D Hop?
They had him.
They had the guy in D Hop. Not to say that I know Marvin Harrison Jr. is younger, but they had D Hop. I mean, granted, he's 31 years of age, 32, but the guy, in terms of route technician and hands, you can't get any better. So I really don't see that trade even happen, because I can't see Arizona wanting to trade up to one to take a receiver. That's just my take.
All right. Well, let's get to a couple more. I mean, I think we got time for maybe one or two more questions. Get to a couple more. Go ahead, Shawn. I think you no, it's you, Keith, isn't it?
Do y'all really think Caleb would be better out of the gate than JF1? I don't. And the reason for it, again, because of the style of offense that he runs that he was running at USC, there's a lot that he's going to have to work on to be ready at the pro level. Not taking anything away from his natural ability. The he's talented with his arm, and the thing is, everybody's wild by the off-script plays. That's not a common offense in the NFL. So and the type of offense that Waldron wants to run, oh yeah, it's going to be a major learning curve. So no, I don't think he will.
Anybody else?
I think he will. I think because he's going to step. If he comes, he's going to step into a much better situation. Justin got sacked 9 times his first start. Justin had the Swiss cheese offensive line. We talked about his receiving core: Amir Smith-Marset, Dante Pettis, EQ St. Brown. Who the hell is he throwing the ball to? Okay, Justin was literally running for his life his first year. So look at the upgrades that we have on offense. There's a legit number 1 receiver. There's a good tight end. I will probably draft another wide receiver. You got good running backs. Yeah, so he'll probably be better in the long run. No, but initially he's coming into a much better situation than Justin came in. And God bless Justin, man. You know, you don't realize what that psychologically what that does for you, dude. 9 sacks your first game. Did you start? Come on, bro. And 4.5 from my man Myles Garrett alone, man. My Myles Garrett, he was getting up close and personal. He knows stuff about Justin that only his parents know. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, come on, man.
He knew how Justin laced up his helmet. G.
JQK, I don't know if I saw the Brian Burns question myself.
Yeah, no.
Coming in, but I don't know where that is. I don't know what the Brian Burns question was about, but I think we got time. I'm sorry if we can't get to everybody's questions. If you got more that you want to ask, let us know in the comment section. We will get to we'll answer it in that time. So let's get to one more. Let's do one more and get on up out of here. Let me see here.
Okay, I'm gonna ask the same question, and it's Skull 6 Trey. And I know the answer to this, but I want to piggyback on it. Let's assume come April 25th.
You gotta ask the questions. People who listen to audio.
Okay, yeah, just a second. Come the 25th of April, and the Bears do not select Caleb and trade down. And this coincides. What do y'all think about the lynch mob coming after Kevin Warren? What do you think is going to happen if the Bears do not draft Caleb? What do you think is going to happen with Kevin Warren and the administration then?
Let's start with Keith. Let's go around that way.
Me personally, I think the organization is behind Kevin Warren as well as they're behind Ryan Poles. I don't think anything is going to happen. I think they've already had the discussion.
I think what the question revolves. How do you think the media and their current narrative will address the administration if they don't take Caleb? That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we already know, man. He's gonna be demonized, man. We know that. We know what we're dealing with. This is Chicago that we're talking about. We know what comes along with the territory. You know, those of us that know how to read the tea leaves and between the lines. You know, I'm for the sake of the show, I'm gonna be politically correct, but we know what it is.
Key word in that question to me is lynch mob.
Yeah. They're going to come after him, and there's going to be a lot of different people. They're going to be calling for his job. And that's what I said the other day, yesterday. There's going to be a lot of people calling for his job, calling for his head. Like, he needs to be fired. He's the worst GM in the history. How can you pass this? How? You're horrible.
They're talking about Kevin Warren, not Poles now.
Yeah, Kevin Warren.
I'm talking about the administration in general.
Dude, they're going to come after everybody, bro. They're going to come after Kevin Warren. Why did you get in? And here's funny. They're going to tell Kevin Warren what his job is. Your job was just to fix the stadium. Get us a stadium. Well, you're not part of. You don't make football decisions. I'm like, dude, you drive Uber for a living. How the hell you know what they do at House Hall? How do you know that? You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like, for real. Like, keep your job. You're just here. And am I lying? Have we not seen it? Your job is just to be at the stadium.
Hey, Shawn, man, I should have took me a job to learn to be a street sweeper.
Good benefits. Shit. They're gonna come after him. They're gonna come after Paul. They're gonna come after everybody. This is the worst. We got to fire him and get a new thing. They're gonna say it. You know why? Because it doesn't fit their agenda. And what they're going to do is they're going to cry like little petulant brats again, okay? And say, he should do this. He should. Come on, man. Stop it. Because people don't agree with you and to resort to name calling for calling for someone's job, man, again, watch how they're going to say, your job is just you're supposed to just fix get the stadium for us. Like, shut your stupid self up. You don't know what their job description is, bro.
Hey, I'll let you guys attack that, man, before we get on up out of here.
Look, man, my attitude is this, man. after the April 25th, if they don't like the decision that was made, I think it's time for them to find new cities to go and report in. Get up on out of Chicago, man, because 2024 is the year of truth, and the truth is being exposed, and they're being exposed. So I'm gonna leave it at that, man, because I can go on, and I know we got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Go ahead, jump it, KB.
I say it's short and sweet, man. That's like my boy Keith just said, man. Truth fall like rain, bro. It don't give a damn who it fall on. It's the truth. It's 2024, baby. We already know. We messed up on we passed up on Caleb. Oh no, they did it again. They passed over Mahomes. They passed over Stroud. This gonna be the same thing. We're not taking into account that 9 other teams passed on Mahomes. You think
Thank you.
you think Cleveland would rather have Myles Garrett, or would they rather have the current iteration of whatever Patrick Mahomes is?
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm just being honest. A defensive player of the year once in his career ain't better than a dude that won 3 Super Bowls. So I don't subscribe to this. The Bears missed on Mahomes notion. No, 9 other teams did too. Uh, we already know what's gonna happen. We starting to see it now. The media's crying. Oh, well, it's smoke screens, is all this. But like you said, let him came out and said, oh well, you know what, man, this Caleb kid is real interesting. Oh, it full blown, full blown. It's concrete evidence. We're drafting Caleb number 1. Uh, I'm. It's already exhausting, bro. We already know what they're gonna come out and say. Like I said, to me, you got two football guys talking at the top. Not to mention Ian Cunningham. So I'm okay with whatever they decide, bro.
I'm gonna
You
just.
know,
I'm
you know
gonna
what we're
end-
seeing? You
I'm
know
a,
what we're seeing, guys? Real quick, we're seeing Ryan Poles show mugs, show MFers how to play, how to be a GM. Because you ain't heard nothing. Nothing. All you talk is media. Well, my guy's this. Well, my source is this. Well, my source, dude, nothing has leaked out of Hallis Hall. Nothing. That's a master's class in how to be a GM.
and you know what? We're gonna rename him on this show, Poles Corleone. He's being gangster than the NFL right about now. Because I'm gonna just say this to you, and all of that everybody said about there's automatically an attack in order, right? They're planning that strategy right now. I'm just gonna tell you guys this because in years past, I'm not tooting my own horn here. I'm talking about this entire network. Before this, I don't remember being a network out here that if you go in attack mode against the people that are trying to do the job, the counterbalance is we'll attack you because you need to stay in your place and go find things journalists do on a regular basis, find stories instead of trying to design the stories. We're going to attack you. So anybody listening to my voice right now, they can come after Poles, they can come after Kevin Warren. If we feel like over here that they're doing due diligence with what they've been given, what they're being offered, and they make moves with it that make sense. Now, there could be a world that they absolutely screw this up. I don't see that coming. But as of now, those guys have done nothing but a commendable job. And because they're not, answering your virtues, you feel the need to attack them. We'll come get you, man. Nobody's scared of you. I'm gonna let you know right now. This is the counterbalance over here. You might have got away with that in the past. That might have been a successful strategy in the past, but there wasn't a Nomad network before then. There's one now, and you're gonna feel me for sure if you go to in attack mode because some of that stuff is probably I'm not even gonna get into what I think it might be behind, but we do have a different hued front office right now, and they want to attack them in the first place. And so
Well,
it's that going on in the first place anyway. But we don't have to pin the tail there. We'll let them do that on their own, and once they do it, then we'll take it there on them. But we already kind of got an idea what that's all about.
you know
But
what's funny though, no man. Not to cut you off, I apologize. But think about this: for years, I mean years, decades, they've been crying about we need structure. We need structure in the front office. Now we got structure in the front office, and they can't accept it.
yep, pretty much. Now it's about backing off, letting these people do their jobs, and this is what they do. They're professionals. We are not. You are not. These are professionals. They get paid to
Yeah.
do this. They train to do this. Let them do their jobs, and then whatever you feel about it afterwards, if it's fair, it's fair. If it's not, we'll get on your ass. That's just how it's gonna be. Period. And before we get out of here, anybody got any shout outs and go around the horn right quick?
Hey man,
I,
I was gonna say I'll start just in case I get toned out or something stupid. But Also, shout out boys, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching, man. It has been an absolute pleasure, bro. I'm loving being on here with all of y'all, man. I love talking football with you boys, man. Just want to say thank you for allowing me to come on. You know, I reached out to Nomad. He hit me with the counter punch and said, "Man, you know you could have came on whenever. The offer was
Anytime
there."
you wanted to. Anytime.
You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, like I said, I just appreciate y'all showing the love and having me on, man. I appreciate every one of y'all, man. Yeah,
No
shout out to the fans, of course, man. Even the ones that want to get on here and run their mouths, bro.
No doubt, man. Go ahead, Key.
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody that was in the chats today. Thank you for your questions and everything. And Ryan, it was a pleasure, brother. I look
Appreciate
forward to you being on. Come on, man. If you can do it once a week, come on and join us, man.
Oh, yeah.
Let's really chop it up.
Hey, more than welcome, man.
Okay,
And
got you.
Shawn, always my brother. We gonna get at it. We gonna get to it.
Go ahead, Shawn.
Ryan, nice meeting you, Papa. Man, come on back whenever you got a chance, man. I love talking, and I'm not just saying that because we think along the same lines. Like, I don't mind. I really don't mind people in chat who have a different view, and you stand on the opposite side of the fence. That's cool. Then let's debate. Let's debate. All right, that's cool. And, just don't get stupid with it. No name calling, no this, no that. Just give me your thoughts on your side. You know what I mean? Thank everyone in the chat for coming out. My people from Sports Zone Chicago, make sure you do me a favor. Go and follow my podcast as well. And soon we're going to be on this. We'll have this show on Sports Zone Chicago's Roku channel and our YouTube page. So it'll be coming up soon. But yeah, make sure you go follow my channel on YouTube. And thanks again for keeping this thing lit, man. This is awesome. Whether you're for Justin, whether you're for Caleb. Remember, just because you're pro Justin doesn't mean you have to be anti Caleb, and just because you're pro Caleb doesn't mean you have to be anti Justin. All right, we want the Bears to do the best. I think, in my opinion, that Justin is the best person to lead it. But that and 225 will get me on the bus. All right, so we got to figure out what Ryan Poles and Kevin Warren, that brass, think. Do they think the same thing? We're gonna find out.
All right. So if you guys, thank you for coming to the show. Everybody that participated, man, there's a lot of energy in the chat. Again, I apologize for any questions that weren't answered. But if you go in the comment section after the show, we'll do our very best to answer them. I'm pretty quick about responding to those things, man. But just let us know what you were thinking. If you didn't get your question answered in the chat, we'll do that then. And plus, we'll do other Q&A shows because this one turned out to be pretty good. People had pretty good questions. And I think we were pretty good about answering the best way we could. But hey, guys, just keep up the love, man. I need you guys to get them subscriptions run up, man. I need you guys to go make
yes
email accounts apiece, man. Go make 50 email accounts apiece and subscribe with every last one of them. You want us to be tough against these other podcasts out here being negative and foul against this organization and not letting them do what they want to do. Build us up into the strong creature that you want us to be. Help us do it. Go extra, and we go extra for you. Go make some accounts and get us some subs, man. Get us to 2,000 real fast, man. And that's going to tell me that we're definitely on the right track. But I feel good about where we are right now, man. Ryan, again, man, appreciate you for coming on. I just want you to know, you're going to hear it out of my mouth. Anytime that you feel like, all right, I want to get on the show, man. I got some stuff I want to talk about. All you do is get in touch with me.
I got you,
man. It ain't nothing. You family to us over here.
Hey, man, I appreciate the love, brother. I'll definitely beat you up on that.
It's like
get it off your chest, Ryan. Come get it off your chest.
Appreciate it.
It's therapy, man. It's therapy.
Hey, Nomad, thanks to everybody for in the chat. Thank you guys. Ryan, it was nice meeting you. Do not forget, tomorrow's show is at 3 o'clock, not at 1 o'clock at 12 o'clock. I'm sorry. I'm Eastern, so it'll be 3 o'clock Central Time instead of noon.
All right. And I got to get out of here, fellas. I want to holler at you later, Ryan, because I got to get right out of here, man. Today is our Valentine's Day over here, and I got
you
too.
You don't catch that beat down.
I got to get out of here, fellas, but I got to get out of here with these famous words to you guys. Love, peace, and hair grease, guys.